So today is the 1st of March 2019 and we are in Bangalore with Ramesh Babu. So Vanakkam.
Vanakkam.
And Ramesh Babu is a practitioner and trainer of Varmam. So what is this Varmam? Some people may have heard about it. Some people think it is about some acupressure, Indian acupressure, something like this. Some people who come from martial arts side think it is some little spot sitting, some secret vital spots practice. So what we will try to discover in this little interview is what is this Varma or Varmam? So what is the relationship to Marma? Sometimes some confusion is there in the mind of people. And also how is it related, more generally speaking, in India to like the healing systems like Ayurveda or Siddha, or even like to yoga? What is the relationship? And the first question I would like to ask you, because like before dedicating so much of your energies and life and efforts into Varma, you were a software engineer. So how did you suddenly decide to change your life completely and to suddenly get interested in this field?
When I explain you about the Varma, you will understand why the migration from software to Varma has happened. So something is pulling you towards it, may have its own value, you know why it is. The Varma was, the people represent it as somewhere around 5,000 years old system, which was not disclosed much, and it was taught to only the traditional people, especially only the family members, not outsiders. Since, as you said, there is a reference like acupuncture and other things, nowhere in this therapy you can kill or hurt someone using these techniques. But Varmam is that it's morely used for a martial art technique of South India. We call it as a Varma Kalai. So it's not only, it is a healing. The another part of that is called a martial art is there, where self-defense can be used. Varma or Varmam is almost the same, but Varmam is the exact naming for which we are given to this particular system, where Varmam connects both the martial art and the healing system. What I practice more on the healing side, not on the martial art side, because many people misunderstand like Varma Kala is purely a martial art. No. Any martial art need a healing system mandate parallelly, because by mistake I made hurting when we practice, that has to be healed. So any guru will know to handle both the sides, to show them, and also something happened to cure them. That's where the Varma system of medicine has come, along with the martial art. Varma, as I told you, there is no much difference. And the Varma is something like which was not disclosed and so secret and very wonderful system. People say that may be a first system on the earth to heal someone, because the Varma need purely hands and it doesn't need any tools. First thing is that. And second thing is that Varma need more of a passion and love to treat. It's not just it works like I want to be a doctor, I can start using a Varma. It doesn't work like that. You need a passion, or within that you need to have an urge to cure someone. Only that energy level in your body will change as per the need and gets cured. So that more of this is like an example I can give is that we eat food ourselves, and sometimes mother mix the food and feed. There is a lot of difference. The food is same, the taste changes because of the love added to it little more. Same with this, heal need little more of love. I can say like many of the prophets has come in the world, everyone are one or another way the healers, and everyone they heal by touching the people. So this system belongs to a very old system which was not disclosed. So when I started learning to treat my mother's knee pain, where I got attached to it, because one instant I can cure her so much and she was so happy. Seeing the smile came out of my mother's face, I could not stop there, because I want to feel the same smile from everyone, those who are in the pain, living with the pain. So that's where I transformed from a software engineer to a therapeutic healer. But I do not do a healer. The second thing is that more of I concentrate on an academic side, not on the really a healing side, because I want a lot of doctors to practice this, a lot of healers to practice this. So that's the reason altogether I am here today. And you said one more question, what the Varma?
Before I would just add one little thing.
Sure.
So when you decided that you wanted to go, how does one like you find somebody to teach, or how did you learn also, and how much time it took also, you know, for learning? Because you said usually it's in the family,
right?
So
it's a big journey, frankly telling. It's like first year going to the college and the seniors ragging you. Simple word I can use, like, but here is an altogether different. Ragging is normally you run away from learning. That much they rag you. You know, when you are teaching, they put you into so much of, you know, tensed mood that you normally feel, okay, I learned enough and I move away. Finding a teacher in Varmam is not a easy joke, because you have to be blessed. That's what I mean to say. In the Tamil word, the people, because it belongs to the documents majorly done in the Tamil, so they say vitta kurai thotta kurai. And that means something last janma you off away, you have stopped that work, so that this janma it's continuing. Only that way you can come. It's not that suddenly you can start and get the right teacher. Maybe you start now, maybe next janma you get a better teacher, but not immediately.
I'm just translating for the people who may not be aware. Janma, so your life, no?
Life, the last life and this life. So maybe that's how this might have got. I got a wonderful teacher, luckily, in this Janma, because I met these people already last Janma. So, that last life. I can tell their names also. I'm so happy to tell my Guru's name. Like, one of the best teacher I know is Dr. Mohandas sir. He only given materials to me to study. He never taught me, but he given a lot of materials to study. You know that, which was in the form of manuscripts. And he had documented so much of manuscript. He is the only person documented almost more than 49 manuscripts into the book, published. And next I can say then the priority is Dr. Kannan Rajaram, who was the one as a guru, if you ask the question, he won't answer. He will get that book, this is the page, this is the song, you read that song. What it is saying, now let us interpret. So he brings everything into a discussion, not just he tells as a teacher and I will be listening. No, he will make it you to ask the question and he will be answering. So, lot of gurus are there, and undisclosed gurus. I can say that these people are not familiar in the market, but they are very good gurus. Those who are more familiar, not that much, keen on teaching, but those who are teaching is there. So luckily I got it. I don't know, if you ask me how you get a right guru, it's a big question mark. Only by your experience you'll understand the guru is a right guru or not a right guru, because everyone now mention they know Varmam, and how depth they know Varmam is not disclosed by any certification or quality maintenance is there. Yeah.
But so now, what is this Varma?
Yeah.
Big mystery for us, huh?
The Varmam is the story of the Varmam, how it has come. I can tell you. This is, people say, the belief. It's a belief. People say when whoever the God created this world has documented this as a health, saver of the human from the pain. They have documented this. It is from the generation it's coming, not that human written, that's what they say. But that's a philosophical way of explaining the Varma. But Varma is nothing but 108 Varma points are some locations on your body which somebody can hurt and give you disease. But the same location also, if you stimulate in another way, can start curing from the same disease which it can acquire. So it's like an on-off switch of the body. I can give a particular pressure to disease it or slow down a pressure to cure it. But we never disclose what is the pressure to hurt anyone. But our system of teaching from my guru also, they taught me is not to hurt anyone, but how to heal by different techniques of the pressure. So Varmam is something like where some locations on your body, using that, you can cover what is acupuncture. But again I tell you the same answer. Acupuncture cannot hurt anyone, but Varmam with a particular pressure can hurt. So Varmam is something works on your body, mind and the soul, which is little more deeper than any other subjects in the world.
And what is the difference between, confusion is there, between this Varma and Marma?
See, Marma is a Ayurveda concept of Varma, I can say. And Varma is a Siddha concept. So there is two verticals of a traditional system in India. One is a Siddha system, another is an Ayurveda system. But very old documentation, or more of the scripts are there in Tamil than as Sanskrit, because Sanskrit belongs to the language-based language for this Ayurveda. There is only one book reference on the Varma Sikitcha. But Varma, we have more than almost 200 books, we have it. And all these are talking different languages of this Varma. but relation you see almost is the same. But Varma stops with when something happened, that hit happened in the location, what disease it will create. Only that much documentation is there. After that, in further traumatology, what treatment you can give, it's not much documented. But some of the books in the Varma, it is well documented, like any disease comes, how you stimulate a Varmam to cure. So only advantage here in the Varmam is that it talks about more of curing, but other subjects will more talk about what disease I can create or what symptom you get if you get diseased. That's it. Only traumatology they talk about, not about the healing part of the Varma or Varma.
And we mentioned in our discussions that you say like the Varma tradition is not stopping at healing.
Right.
It is also linked to the Siddha tradition.
Right.
Can you explain a little what is this Siddha tradition, and so what is this other dimension? You already mentioned a little because you're saying it is also in touch with the soul. So like what is this? You know, we don't know. What is this soul that you're talking about when you talk about Varma?
See, Siddha system is more of making your body immune to any diseases in the world. That's what the Siddha system majorly, not to create a medicine for the disease, instead of that to prevent you from the disease. So many of the medicines are not there, to my knowledge, from my teachers, is that we don't have much of the medicines. You know why? Is that they made a food as a medicine, prevent you from diseases more of. And Siddha, we have been talking about more of a higher soul, or higher level of energy to activate, and different languages they use. But end of the day, they to make sure that you create your own shield of preventing yourself from any of the diseases. Not only the diseases. We can talk about, if people believe of black magic or something like that, even this system can prevent you from that type of the negative energy. I can say, I don't call it as a black magic, but the negative energy, it can be prevented. So Varma people think morely about the healing, but frankly telling you is that Varma is something beyond that. It also handles an energy level. If people think of chakras, they talk about in the energy language. It can work on the chakra level. We have a pathology, two types of pathology testing here. One is a nadi. Nadi means seeing the pulse, and we can see that. Another few are called Panchapakshi type of pathologies. There are different types of pathologies. All this pathology depends on two things. One is a tridosha, and another is a Panchabhuta. Tridosha is a Vata, Pitta, Kapha. That's the three stages of your three. One is a solid state, one is a liquid state, another is a gaseous state. So these three status, how we can compare using the nadi. Same, Panchabhuta is nothing but mud, that's a soil level, water level, fire level, air level, and the sky level. That's a space level. That is called Akasha, we call it. So both the language can be interpreted using Varmam, because Varmam talks about Tridosha and Varmam also talks about Panchabhuta. So many people, any pathology use it, still Varmam can work on to that level. So something very deep knowledge, and I can tell you, I can just say a drop of a sea what I'm talking to you now, but the knowledge is so wider and yet to be disclosed and yet to be researched. So much big part is still pending to do research and explore it. But it talks about moksha, jnana, that's something I can talk about, like it can predict what you supposed to be in the next janma, next life and whole thing. That level secrecy is well maintained. So it's a big one. That's what I believe, because the content what I have, I cannot complete that content what I have in this life alone. I need to have a rebirth, and God bless me to get another life to continue reading this, because the content we have so much. We are trying to give it out, all this knowledge to the world, to make sure that everyone lives healthy.
You mentioned now so the concept of Tridosha and also of like Pancha Mahabhuta. Even on the more lower level, the question that or the way of looking at the person, it's in terms of energy and energy balance. So in the Chinese tradition, what we have, Taoist tradition, is very much about nourishing life. You nourish the life and you harmonize, and in a certain way, little by little, you get more good physical health, more good energy health, emotional health, spiritual health, and basically when you are completely healthy, it means you become like immortal, in the Chinese way.
So nice.
Or maybe Buddhists will call enlightened, or reaching moksha, whatever. That is by getting this more and more health, meaning more and more harmony with everything. So then suddenly, this state is coming. So is my understanding right that like in Varma, it's very similar?
Very similar. Parallelly traveling. When you practice something in this type of energy level, If you get any hurting because of not doing in the right way, even that hurting can be fixed by the Varma, because Varmam always parallelly traveling along with your energy level. So Varmam is part of the energy, but it's used only for an healing of that energy, transform from one form to another form. You know that the energy transformation happens. Some people could not tolerate it. You know that it's becoming uncontrollable. For them, the Varmam can be used to bring it to the normal. So higher energy also not good sometimes when you cannot handle it. You know that people get shivering. When you do the little energy, people get shivering. That even can be controlled. Any energy, you can say, people use different languages for the energy, like Muladhara energy, which is here, and which takes care of make your spine to sit straight and whole thing. Every energy, there is a Varma points connecting to it. Simply I can say like, there is a measurement like this is we call it as a Jan, which is of 12 fingerprints. So human in Tamil we say En Jan Vadambu. The 8 times of your, this breath is your height. Your fingers, not other finger. Your fingers will be your height. So 12 fingers. So there is totally of 96 fingers is a human height. So 96 tattvas they created, the elements. Your elements means, for an example, your anger is one element of yours. Your love and passion is one element of you. Your feeling is one element. So like this 96 elements they created. Every Varma they connected to this 96. And they call it as a Todu Varma, that is touch Varma points. Over 96, that they grouped this 96, each of these 96 into 8. So all this 8 of grouped one is controlled by one main Varma location, that is called Padu Varma. That is very dangerous Varma point, because once that is infected, all this 8 is getting disturbed. Like this, 96 is there, divided by 8 gives 12 extra groups which will control in this. This is called 12 Padu Varmas, which is dangerous points. So total 96 sub Varmas and 12 major Varmas. Total if you see, that will become 108. So all this is connected to whatever you talk in the world, what are the energy level, one or another way these Varmas are getting connected to that particular energy. So only that stimulation it can help you to activate that particular. That's why you see, if it's a Chi energy you want to activate here, we have 8 Varma points to connect to the Chi energy.
But what is the relationship, because on the one hand, when we think about energy, we always think about something which is flowing, which is moving. But when we talk about Varma points, until now I listen, so we talk about some location, some points. So how is this related? So it should be energy flowing, but it's a point. So what is the relationship between these two things?
Our energy movements are well controlled by our soul, we can call it. And there is a path of the soul is well documented by a book called Narambarai Sutyam. That's a reference what we have now, which is well detailed about your energy level, the soul level. And there is a path the soul is traveling, they mentioned in that. The energy to handle, these people are using a soul to handle the energy instead of directly going to the energy. And energy movements are always there. It's not in one place, energies keep moving it like. But these are all centric in one particular location. This is not moving in an uneven direction. All these are moving in two way. One is a circular path, another is an elliptical or oval path. So both are centered, elliptical path centered in 2 locations, circle centered in 1 location. The 2 location point we call it as a column. One circles, all moving in a circle we call it as a Varma, because 1 centered point. 2 centered point, there is a movement a little happen between the 2 centers. All this called elliptical path or oval path. So the energy is again coming back in a particular, like it's like I can say like a comet. It goes somewhere and come back again and circle the sun, and again it goes back. We never know the full path, but it comes back and one day it touches it. So that one point is a reference is the sun for us. Same way here, what happens is that the energy goes anywhere and comes back and access this point. So this will be one of the reference to control that particular the energy, which can be from any location. For example, this location, the ophthalmic, can be disturbed by using one of the point in the leg. In that case, the energy here is going one time to that place and coming back here to that eyes. So we call this as a Dasa Vayu and Dasa Nadi. Dasa Nadi means the nervous system, the oscillation of the energy. All the oscillation energy we call Dasa Nadi. And the air traveling between this oscillation we call it as a Vayu, gaseous form. That is air form, I can say. These two connecting to this Varmam everywhere, so everything is well connected.
And so from that point of view, what is the disease? It is like when connection is not there anymore, or what is...
Any obstacle in the natural flow of your energy will create the disturbance. The disturbance longer time, if you are not trying to fix that energy disturbance, that creates the diseases. So normal flow is there, like a pipe, water is flowing, when it's flowing no problem. when you bend the pipe, it will start bulging because of the pressure of the water, and after that the inflammation starts here, then that will start creating a disease around that naturally, because the efficiency to handle is reducing when that is in the inflammation. That will create any type of diseases. So handling the situation is not happening because of the blockage there. So normally we have a head bath taking monthly 2 times or 3 times, and all that systems are working on Varmam already. Varmam is something not somebody has to come and stimulate. You already stimulating it. Like, I'll give you a very simple example is that people suddenly ask me my name. What is my name? So after this long interview, people are watching me. Somebody might have forgotten my name now as he interviews. So now if I ask what is my name?
What is your name?
Immediately what happens? Your name? Some people, your name? Some people, your name. So you see somewhere scratching suddenly to somewhere the scratching knowingly or unknowingly. You know where the scratching is, that they are scratching the Varma. I'll tell you, this is called Poigai Varma, which normally they are scratching here. This is called Uchi or Padappu Varma or Kondekolli Varma. This is called a Sirungolli Varma. I'll tell you what psychology happens when you scratch that. If you scratch here, you remember it's not coming out. Not coming out. That's why you scratch here. That's why world is becoming more of super brain yoga. There is some techniques they activate these particular points. You give some time, they'll remember.
Even in temple, no, some of the ways that you...
in Hindu god of Ganapati or Ganesha, we call this, they go and knock like this and then they do these sit-ups. That will activate their energy. So before the exams or they want to attend an interview, they go to this temple, pray and go. The process will activate their particular energy within them. Like.
So sometimes the people don't even know, but they are activating the points.
They think the energy what they're praying is coming. Actually, they want that same energy what is outside when they see. When they practice that energy, they are actually cloning. They activate their own energy which is there in front of them. When they do, they get the same energy, and when they go, they work. That's how it works. But which are the God, like which are the way you pray, the same energy you are cloning it. Very simple is that. So when you scratch here, you know you are trying to recollect it. When you scratch here, you doubt you remember or not. If you scratch here, I guarantee you forgot. You don't even remember. So why this happening naturally? And you say, if you advise someone, they don't listen to you, you give one voice here and I'll say, okay. You know why you, means what is that? I know you won't listen, let it go. Knowingly and unknowingly you give one sound called, you know that? That sound is also activating a particular Varma to make sure that detach from the people, telling that they don't listen, okay, let it go, because, so anyway when you are stressed, people here use normally the sound, okay, naturally that sound comes to reduce the attachment to someone where they are away. So this level deep the Varmam is going. So it's not a limit. From the birth to the death, all the happiness what you get is through the Varmam. Because that's a wonderful healing system within you. It's not we got it from some people. It is designed by any creator of the world. If that exists, if you are true, that is maybe designed by him, because it's not in connected to some people. It is to the throughout the world, wherever the human being is there. This connects so wonderfully. Any logic you bring in, somewhere one or another logic will fit into the Varma.
Yes. In the Taoist teaching, you know, like one thing which is very important, is you follow the natural way.
So sweet.
So actually what you're explaining also is Varma is not something artificial.
No.
Actually, even if you have never learned, you're doing it without even knowing that you're doing it.
Yes, you do not learn, you are doing it. Day-to-day life, you are doing it. When you have little extra food, you roll like this. Throughout the world, everyone are rolling like this. You know why? Because there is a Varmam energy rolling out here. If you do that, it will support your digestive system to get because angry, you are fully loaded. You are substituting that anger by helping it to get digested in the right way. So naturally everyone does that. So what are the moments? Sometimes people sit like this. Some people sit like this. Everywhere, emotionally controlling people. Somebody want to cry, especially. They try to hold it and tightly they sit like this. You know why? They don't want to cry in public. They block it here. There is energy to block that.
What I find very interesting in what you're saying, you know that I have worked a lot on intercultural dialogue, in dialogue.
Very true.
So dialogue, sometimes it is words, but it's not only words. There's also non-verbal communication, like how is our body postured, how is... So what you're telling right now I find very interesting, because actually Varma will also give you a way of, in a certain way of reading or understanding the person which you're facing without even using any word, just like the posture, just like you will have some understanding of who the person
Varmam is actually more of energy of serpent energy. I can say Varmam is handling more of a serpent energy within you. And serpent never listen. The serpent will be listening through the eyes, not to the ears. You ever know that, like, hopefully. The serpent communicate through the eyes morely, because eyes are so powerful to it, and two are communicating through the eyes. Because it cannot interpret through the ears, so it communicates through the eyes. So Varmam people, those who are learning, they activate the energy in their eyes more to communicate, so that's why when they see, they will understand what is happening within you, because you need that energy. That's why netra energy is highly, netra is an ophthalmic we are talking about. The eye energy is increased by this type of techniques if properly used. Yeah.
So is it also that when you start to, first with the human beings, to start to not see the body only as body, but you start to see a little like energy signature or soul signature.
Very good, very good.
Is it then little by little also happening that even maybe in nature, when you see the trees or that also this kind of feeling starts to come?
So beautifully it comes. Even the festival in India, you see, like Diwali is one festival. They say one avatar has killed one, big, who was the demon who was destroying so many things. But behind that, there will be a lamp everywhere they kept. You see that. I'm a richest, then I'll have a golden lamp. Somebody is very poor, he'll have a mud lamp. But just stand 100 meters away and watch that. You can't see a gold in the mud. You see only the lamp. These eyes, when you practice a Varmam, this is the eye you generate. You never see anything, but within you, the soul is the same for everyone. That's the only thing you start watching it. Beyond that, you never care about the body. You never watch the body. But your eyes will start observing the soul, and the communication happens through the soul, not by verbal movement or anything. So that's why that festival is for that, to make sure that everyone are same. What lamp you have, what a lantern light you have, lamp you have. But the light out of that is a common everywhere. That's what the soul, what we carry. So that eyes you get it, so that then you know.
And so is that the reason why you said also at the beginning that Varma is not so much like a technique? Just technique is not working, but there has to be this like soul dynamic behind. This love dynamic behind. This is not there, you said, like it's not going to happen.
And this is like, you do not be a doctor to understand the Varma. When I had a headache when I was a child, I go to my mother's lap and I sleep on my mother's lap. She touches my hair and says, "What happened to you?" I say, "I have a little headache." She does with me happily, okay, no tension, nothing, relax, sleep happily. Within few minutes my headache is gone. I never had, after that lifetime I never had that much of headache after that, because every time, few times had come, she started healing. So why is not everyone having the healing hands? You have to prepare and practice to get that hands energy properly to heal anyone. So you want to have a healing hand, nothing else you want. In the Varma, you don't want to too much dig into the technology, but just a healing hand many times really helps, and simple things can be cured. Like small discomfort you have, just touch and the discomfort is gone, because discomfort leads to your headache, discomfort leads to your depression, all that is there, just a discomfort around you happen. So this discomfort can be just cured by just touching, telling that I am there next to you, don't worry, it's one word with a small touch. That's a Varma. Varma is something more of not happening always pressing another thing. No. Varma is smaller touch also. Feather touch can heal many people because they need the touch at the right time. It's more important, which is missing.
So it's also in a certain way art. I'm using art in the sense, I wanted to say science of touch, but then I wanted to change my word to say, so it's an art of touch.
Art of touch. Art of touch. It's a motherly touch. I can say, anyone can become a mother if you know Varmam. They'll be a mother. When somebody pain, we are touching it, our hands will become transformed to the way of their mother touches them. That's what we have to activate. That energy is enough to handle. So you need to be strong in the energy also when you treat someone. Yeah.
So here, because you're mentioning this, and we had started some nice exchange, like even 2 years ago,
right?
Where you felt that, and I would be curious about your reason, that you felt that maybe these Chinese practices like Qigong or Tai Chi, that you felt it can be very complementary to Varma. And indeed, also in the Chinese systems, these things are also there, actually.
Very true.
But so why did you feel? Because also we said it's related to like a Siddha tradition, yoga tradition also. what do you feel? Why is there a special interest, like, to put this intercultural dialogue, you know, between like more this Chinese Qigong and then this like Indian Varma? Why do you see that there is something that can be beneficial in their relationship?
This beauty is a natural one, and I'm not thinking of anything beyond that. The beauty is natural one. Natural will allow this to happening, and just we are preventing it not to happen. You understand my point? Nature wants to happen, and it's happening already. So anything connected to the nature will automatically happen. Even I am trying to, or anyone is trying to, it naturally happen. Even I am not there, it will happen. You know why? The energy traveling from north to south pole or east to west, wherever the energy is traveling, irrespective of where it is starting, where it is ending, it's not a matter. It's how it is performing is more important. For an example, here in India, many people like a Chinese food. Why they adopt Chinese food? Just because they like it. Not all the Chinese food, but majority of the Chinese food, the people like it. Why they accepted it? Something is connecting. See, this energy is connecting, which people have to receive. Only after eating I can say food is good or bad. Without eating I can't say that. So the energy, what is there, what is here, we all talking about the same language, same subject with the different languages. And the practice is depends on the path there they are practicing, depends on the path here they are practicing. For an example, path may differ, but the final destiny of all these people are so beautiful, like having a wonderful life for everyone, correct? And a happy and a healthy life. So every healing system in the world, I can say in that case, for an example, a doctor, if you go, doctor's ego is to make sure that you have to get cured. That's the ego. It's not a bad ego. I can say it's a good ego. But only thing is that, is it possible with my system or not? That's the only boundary you should know. If not, then you can refer someone who can really treat it. That's the only thing we are not doing it. If that exchange happens, we can cure everyone in the world very beautifully, and everyone will be healthy and happy, because all our disease is our own loved people. It's not someone else. In that case, everyone are healthy, then you think healthy. You know, if your body is physically healthy, then your thought process will be healthy. When thought is healthy, nothing will go wrong. You know that every thought will be excusing everyone and thanking everyone. Then what the problem will be there in the world? Only disturbing me is that when my stomach is upset, I cannot talk like this. I'll be a little disturbed and angry. I'll say, we'll stop the interview here. You know why? I'm disturbed inside. But I'm happy. I'm enjoying the presence, and I'm with the blossom. So that's fair. So the energy, when I saw you, when I started practicing, I feel that some technique really helps me to activate what I supposed to activate, which was not activating the technique what I was following. So that the book is to be completed by connecting all the tone pages together. All this tone, one technology, another technology. If you bring all these pages to be one, that is what I call it as the biggest, the book of, I can say, a Quran or a Bible or a Bhagavad Gita, whatever you say, beyond that this will be. You understand my point? Because all these are connected, give a wonderful energy, and everyone wants what type of energy. Like I have laddu, like a sweet. I can talking in India. Jamun is a. Somebody wants laddu, let them take. But all this is good for them. So this will be consolidated in one place where you know that. Then this dialogue ends where when all this became one book.
See, for me it was a very interesting experience when because I'm also practicing the yoga, and I like, you know, the Indian arts very much, but also like the Chinese arts very much. And so at the beginning, when I tried to explain a bit about Tai Chi in India, so in Tai Chi Chuan you have this like yin yang, and it's a very important thing, basic polarity. And so at the beginning, when I tried to explain to my Indian friends, I said it's a little like Shiva Shakti.
Here they go. Same thing, different version of name.
And then only after many years, I met some Kalaripayattu practitioners. And then actually they told me our whole system is Shiva Shakti system. So it's not only, see, that I was trying to translate, even they called it like this. Very because what you're saying is it's just different names, but we talk about the same thing.
Very deep. If you go, principles are same, fundamentals are same. Only further development may migrated because of their attitude and their style of living. But fundamentals are very clearly, it's mentioned everywhere you see. You see one subject, another subject, deep principles are same. Little variance will be there, but 90% are the same. Here Shiva Shakti, Yin Yang, and they are also working on Yin Yang, here also working on Shiva Shakti. So the naming convention changed, but the energy level what they are discussing are purely the energy what we are commonly understood.
And so the one thing I appreciated a lot also in your way of sharing about Varma.
Thank you.
So is one thing that you always related to everyday life? Like, as you said, like try to remember something, you know, this kind of thing. And also in India you have a very beautiful culture which sometimes we don't even know why we do the things, but so much is there. So you go to a temple and you have Shiva, you have Vishnu, you have like what is it that is actually happening? So I found it very interesting, like in the Indian way, putting it with Shiva Shakti. These things are there in so many different festivals, temples, activities that we're doing. So actually when you start to be aware, you discover so many things, and it's like you have also pieces of the book you were saying, and you find many more pieces, and little by little some connection is starting to happen in your mind.
Only you have to keep your mind open to take it. Everything comes, you have to take it. That's keep your cup empty. So the knowledge is poured. So that only that, you should not stuck on to one thing and say this is the best because without knowing something else. So once you open and connect it, like what you say, the good dialogue will give a lot of solutions to the people think biggest problem will become a smallest problem. You know why? The solution is found. Still solution is not there. That's a big problem. Yeah.
This leads into another question. Which, because you wrote a beautiful book, maybe you can show.
Yeah.
Which is on Varma, an insight into the ancient system of healing.
This is a blessing of my elders, and this is a blessing of my gurus. It's a blessing in this life. This is the first book in English which has written from its source, the manuscript form. And this is the only book published. It's a source of the book where it has come from, because I just authored this, but the content is nothing belongs to me. This is purely from the manuscript.
Can you maybe show some page, because you have the manuscripts, not the leaves, which are inside.
So, this is the page where it's a source of the manuscript. This is a two reference book. One is called Varma Birangi, which is a tango, we call it as. One is a Varma Kannadi, a mirror. So this is a symposium of two books.
Why is it canon?
Glass, Varma Kannadi.
But the canon, why is it the canon standing there?
The canon is like, you know, stop the war. You can use the Varmam to stop something, you know. I can self-defense, I can use it for the self-defense. That's what the canon is used for. Okay, the first thing is that the self-defense, because this is started for self-defense, the initial stages. And that's where, you know, healing also was there as part of that. Then it has become a common healing, slowly, you know, they redefined and brought it to a regular healing system. But earlier days, there was no that many diseases, so that they restricted to only few diseases. And, you know, now so much is coming up and these people are finding a solution through the Varma. That's it. So this is the first book actually. This is the Varma Kannadi is the first book actually. And the Varma Birangi is the second book. That's why people are thinking this is the shadow of this. But I say the shadow is becoming alive because this is the first book. The shadow of this within that became another book called Varma Birangi, because the glass was the early days in the statues you see we used stone mirrors, which was very old. All these tankers and all these came little later, this technology. So that this is a little new book and this very old book. This is a symposium is covered, and we are making all our students to write the book now in different languages. Hopefully we can write in the French language as early as possible to give it. Thank you.
But so you took, you know, all this time, even the book you write, many books are there also, you know, like where you have like Varma of that person, this person, that person, but you really went to the manuscript and you want to publish that manuscript.
Yes, yes.
And so for some people it may be sounding very strange.
Yeah.
Why? Because just we talked, you told me Varma, it's a natural. Then we continue to talk, you say your mind should be open to anything. But on the other hand, when we think about tradition, sometimes we think tradition is very much, you should not look at this, only my tradition, only my guru, only, you know, something, only my scripture, something like this. So I would be very curious, so for you, how is this, how can you reconcile? You know what I mean?
It's not you doing it, somebody is making you to do. Always that's the truth. It's not you doing anything, somebody is making you to do. Sometimes in energy I can say, but sometimes people. When you are looking for a solution, if you don't get a right solution to you, then you'll start seeking. Want to find a solution. Once you got the solution, will you keep it with you? What will you do next?
You share?
That's what I am doing. When I went in, many of the teachers, they written their own book and say, here's Varma, that Varma, this Varma. In that case, I was talking, then you say this system is from the very ancestral people, like Siddha and other thing. They doesn't have much of the community and other thing. Then why you people call it my Varmam? It is a very old knowledge. In that case, only condition I want to make sure is that where it has come from, the source we have to refer it. Then in the condition, no one will say it's my Varmam because the source is given to outside. So where I don't want to highlight my name for the Varmam because my name is not a highlight here, but the Varmam is a highlight for me. Because that's given me a lot of solution to the people. I enjoyed this for a longer time. In that case, I want to highlight the Varmam as a priority. My life is not that long, but Varmam life should be much more longer and much more not longer. It should be immortal because that's really helping the people. In that case, what I am supposed to do is that take a source and give it to everyone. So one is the source I printed, which is in Tamil, and directly I brought it to the book in English. You know why? Many of the people from the manuscript they printed in Tamil, but when you go, if you want to love Tamil, can I talk to you in Tamil so you start loving it? No. I want to explain you in the language what you understand, what Tamil say, only then you start enjoying it. So that's the reason I written book in English and also it is from the source. So I am just authoring this. I am not a complete knowledgeable person of the author here. I am transforming from the manuscript and giving it in the English. In between we interpret as per the Guru says. But only the manuscript is talking here.
Yeah. And how do your gurus feel, for example, about sharing? Because on the one hand you say if you really want to practice, then the sharing is there. So what is the situation nowadays? Because some things are published, some things are not published. Some people don't want to share, some people want to share. Some people feel we must share. Some people feel if we share we will destroy everything. How to know what to do?
To my knowledge, how you see is more important a subject.
Oh, so now we have a little in the black. You think it will last a little, or shall we make a little break?
Yeah. Can you?
So we'll just wait that I'll turn it off, and then in a few minutes we'll continue.
Guitar. Switch on the UPS, but current comes, there will be a small peak.
So light came back. And just before the light went out, we were wondering, Guru is the spirit of, not the spirit the principle which makes the darkness go away. And just at the moment when we talked about this Guru spirit, and how to manifest, how to share, and so on, light went out. Now light came back. And so the question was, how do you feel about the situation nowadays between the people saying we should keep it more secret, or we should share it, or how to share it, in what way to share it? This I'm asking, maybe it's not so much like a Varma question, but unfortunately I was, unfortunately it's my personality, I'm a social scientist, trying to understand this kind of things. And so one of the things I try to work is what is happening when we modernize traditional systems of healing, when we try to put it into the modern context.
Right.
And so that is why I'm asking the question, because on the one hand you take very seriously the tradition,
right.
At the same time you're open to sharing that tradition, but I'm sure you must also have your own questions about how to do it in the proper way.
Right.
So what is your thoughts on this?
See, we have to preserve the tradition and given to the people in the right way. That's more priority in the Varma. It should not be given, somebody say Varma will hurt. In that case, Varma will hurt. When I touch, it's a mother touch I told. Mother, whatever the pressure you give it on the child will not have any disturbance. Somebody else will give that same pressure, child will get disturbed, you know that. But mother, same pressure, when sleeping she turns and child little on the body, she still pushes but nothing will hurt. The child will still hug and come very close and that smallest space she survives. But not with other people. The same way, the hurting is only an intention. Hurting is it's an intention. So if you don't have that intention, you cannot hurt anyone using Varma. Clear? For an example, there is a vegetable shop, like a big mall, they sell a vegetable cutter. What is the purpose of that knife? Is to cut the vegetable. If you think in the wrong way, taking that knife, whose problem is that? So, why can't you take in good side? There is everywhere, there is another side. If you keep thinking about that, only then that's going to be ineffective for you. So, I mean to say that there is a good side. Enjoy that good side. I cannot decide who is good and bad, not my business. I can give you. It is your decision to take it good. How long I will control you not to? See, I have no control of make sure that I am giving to the right people or the wrong people. When I give it to you, my job ends there and your job starts there. There, if you use it in the wrong way, that is your time starts. You are answerable for that. It's not me. In that case, why I want to worry? Because I never felt anything wrong about Varmam. When I teach you, I never teach you anything wrong about Varmam. But when you interpret in the wrong way, or someone is listening interpret in the wrong way, what will happen there? So, the subject is I'm actually talking about the danger of transforming this technology to people or giving to the society. The god from a black statue became a marble statue now. The technology changed even in the temple. In the case, everywhere transformation happened. Allow that to happen. That's a nature. You are fighting against the nature. How long will you hold it? It has to happen. That's why I have an objections from my gurus, some of the gurus. I say yes. But the energy is not in my control now. The reason is that is flowing outside. It's not me. If I stop, another is starting. So it's not I am doing this job. No. There are thousands of people are racing now to give this awareness. In that case, it's want to come out, it will come out. No one can stop it. One cannot say you stop. Because so good knowledge is hidden for so long time. Now the time to give it to the people. You know why? This is not belongs to a community. This belongs to the people. I say, Varma, without knowing you are doing it, my knowledge is only to tell you what you are doing is Varma. I am not teaching you Varma. You are already doing that. When the cold is there is a Murti Varma which is controlling your running nose. So you are doing that. Telling the name and telling that you are doing wonderfully, continue doing that is my problem. So the way of we teach, especially, is in the good way, and that touch what we are teaching you, if you do that, will not hurt anyone. The reason is that the touch itself having a beautiful energy within you, which never have a small negative emotion within, not even a 0.01%. In that case, you cannot do anything. Even you try to, you cannot do, your energy will stop you doing that. You understand my point? So you are in control of your energy. No one is influencing that. If you lose the control, then somebody can influence your energy. That's what we call it as, whatever they call black magic or whatever it is, somebody is influencing negative energy. When you are in control, only if you want to control Varmam, you want to have control of your energy is more important, so you are protected. Yes.
So thank you for this very inspiring talk.
Thank you.
And not only talk, I did this 3 days also workshop with you.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, for me it was a big pleasure.
Somebody has to keep in the cup open where something I have, I can pour it. So people kept it open, so I poured my knowledge. That's it. So you allowed me. People say I am doing service. No. Somebody accepted your service. That's why the service has completed. If I am servicing and somebody is not accepting the service, then the service is not completed. So you allowed me to complete my,
and also see, it's also the nice thing I enjoy in our relationship is because you also with your students, you allowed me to share, but I need to share. So you also give me the same opportunity. So it's a very...
So knowledge is not to just give. When I'm teaching, I'm learning so much. That's more important, When students ask the question, I love the student. You know why? More the question making me to study more and make me perfect. So that it's the happiest one teaching to others.
So do you have any final thought, something maybe which we did not touch, but you think is important, or some message you want to share, or some wish?
I want to. It's my dream also for a little longer time, because when I migrated from a software to this field, software was a good earning, you know that. But earning never kept me much satisfied just by earning. Then I had a little disturbance in mind that this life is not only work, but to do something. So it's migrated me. And I thank my parents and my family supported me to transform, because many people don't want to transform a books earning industry to a industry where you can do more of research and services. But I thank them first. I want to through this I want to thank them. They allowed me, otherwise I will not be here. You understood? So somebody allowed me. That's the happiest thing. And second thing is that I came out the purpose of giving this knowledge to as many as possible. And this has to be like a wave. It has to carry, and it has to go. Like one wave comes, take it, another wave comes, and take it, another wave comes. And this wave will create another wave. It's not that only one wave is transforming to another wave. No. There is a small waves keep on going on. I want this knowledge to go like that. go everywhere. There should not be any boundary. Even aliens comes and let them learn with us. I have no problem teaching them to them. No boundaries. The knowledge has to go everywhere is the longest dream I have. Because this knowledge goes. We will have a painless world, painless life, and life is painless to everyone. That's my, the dream. So I want, through this interview, I will welcome you all to India, to know where this Varma was born, to one time to understand where this Varma was born, to tell them. And the knowledge can travel anywhere, but you should know the source of this knowledge one time at least. So come, this is the place where the Kanyakumari is the land of the place, where the edge of India, where it has started. And please learn at least the basic things to handle your own day-to-day problems, like a small headache, little shoulder pain, little disturbance in your body which is disturbing you. Only that much if you can take care will really help people to be, especially aged people I am talking about. They could not take now and then to the hospitals for treating them. When they have the small pain, we give them something to temporarily, reduce the pain. But permanent solution I want to give them, so that our elders are happy. Next generation will be so happy to take this life forward.
So thank you very much, Ramesh.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, Christoph.
And I'm very much looking forward to continue our adventure of sharing.
Thank you. Thanks much. We'll do. Keep doing it. Thank you.